crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadroo.com with your morning horn of Z's, a sip of chaga coffee. Yes, keep up your chaga. Keep up your vitamin D intake. Lots of vitamin D, lots of sunshine. That's where you get the vitamin D. That's how you don't get sick. It's obvious to everybody. 99.99999999999% of people who are high on vitamin D don't get COVID. Don't die of COVID. Don't die of anything. Maybe a car crash, but the flu, no. So if you get tested for anything, get tested for your vitamin D levels. How's that? Your government won't tell you that because your government is against your free will. Against you. They're looking to take you out. Your job is to fight them. Speaking of fighting them, let's talk about silver. Silver. We are approaching the bad guys' goal, which is the, right now, it's a 200-day moving average. The 200 moving day average in silver is, right now, it's right here at about $20.50. That's what they're shooting for. That's how they get waterfall crashes like this. And then once they fully flesh them out, this is how the criminals do it. Boom, you get the run up. So the question is, will they do this? I think if they do it, it'll have to be within the first couple days of next week, of this coming week. So keep an eye out for a potential flash crash below and then a quick run up. And I do think we're going to get a very big run up over 30. And once you hit over 30, it's basically clear sailing till about 50. So we're in the middle of the December delivery month. Remember, right now it doesn't look like anything exciting. Right now, at least on the comics. Now on the SLV, they've already pulled out, I think it's 15 million ounces out of the inventory. So JP Morgan, of course, is involved again. But keep an eye on it. At some point, anybody long silver who holds it in SLV or holds it in the COMEX warehouse will get smart enough to do what JP Morgan did, which is take physical into their own possession. That's the only way to survive this thing. If you're holding physical somewhere else, the best of luck to you. Yeah, as the banks crash, they will not be giving back your physical silver that they hold. As SLV crashes, JP Morgan will not be giving back your physical silver that they hold. At that point in time, it's buyer beware. Get your assets in your own possession. So, do I think they'll be able to knock silver down below the $20.50 range? They can if they want to. Big question is, how many weak hands are they going to get from that? What happens is the tech traders go short when it hits the 200-day moving average. So there'll be all this short selling, and then instantly they'll try to cover, and they won't be able to do it. So we could see some carnage coming up in the first couple days. I would say it's all got to happen next week. Then we get into December delivery, and then don't forget, on the COMEX, it doesn't have to be in the current open interest. They can add I think it's 6,000 contracts, which is 30 million ounces per entity, that they can ask for delivery immediately. I want delivery. Come in there with new money, pay for it, and take it out. That's safe. That's how the COMEX silver market works. So be careful, anybody playing the short side of this. But I can see them trying to do something like that, knock it below the 200-day moving average. We've talked about that for a while. It's just a game. It's very short term. I think it would be much shorter term than what happened back in March, which lasted, they started slamming, hit the 200-day moving average once, and then they hit it again, and then they threw the kitchen sink at it. At around $17, it went down to, what is that? It went down to $12, I think. Yep. It went down to $12, and then boom, instantly jumped up, and we had the big run over the next 3 months to $20. $29. I think this would be highly compressed, probably into the month of December. And I mean, this went from March 19th to August 20th. So it's April, May, June. So that took a while for it to run up. Of course, the big moves like right here happen really quickly. So that's something to keep an eye on. Again, all this could change. We got the election certification voting on December 14th, I think, something around there. That could throw a monkey wrench into all markets. We don't know. And then we got the presidential inauguration on the 20th. Who knows who's going to be there? Or if anybody's going to be there. I don't know, truthfully. I would expect Trump to be there. Right now, if Biden gets in, you can kiss America goodbye for various reasons. The biggest reason is that means voting no longer matters. You no longer matter. So we will see. I don't know. I don't know. What would life be like without a president? Probably be better. The markets would crash, obviously, instantly. See, that's the other thing. When you talk about market crashes, there are controlled market crashes, like this one right here in silver, and then there's an uncontrolled market crash. Uncontrolled market crashes is nobody's in control of anything, and the computers freeze up trading against each other. That's what Dick Allgaier and the remote viewing guys saw. They didn't say when, but it would coincide with something. They also saw congressmen with their head in their hand going, "Oh my God, I can't believe it all fell apart." And I think we're looking at, how many days until the inauguration? There's some big days coming up over the next 2 weeks and then over the next month. This, the whole Q movement is do or die now for Q. The Q movement, if Biden gets in, they can't say anything. They'll say, "Oh, I guess it was a fraud." I do think Trump will get in, but it won't be without a fight. And it's up to us to fight for our freedom and liberty. And as soon as Trump gets in, I will be screaming at that bastard to stop rigging markets. That's the number one weakness of America. And the number one weakness is every country in the world knows that we rig all markets. And the CFTC allows it on the silver and gold markets. And the crypto markets, I think every country rigs the crypto market. So I don't think any one person is in charge. Obviously, it was admitted that Trump and the Trump administration, headed by Chris Giancarlo, smashed the Bitcoin price down in 2017, destroyed so many people's lives and livelihoods, put Bitcoin and the crypto movement back 2 years. They admitted it. So don't tell me it's not rigged, but that's about the maximum amount of firepower they have. They used the Mt. Gox Bitcoin, sold a bunch of that into the market, did all the derivatives they could, ran the media against everybody, and then pulled the plug on as much as they could. And it lasted 2 years. Do they have that kind of firepower now? No. I don't think they do. Silver, I don't know how much firepower they have. I mean, all these SLV, let's take a look at SLV. Where does SLV stand? Like 300 million ounces were added to or 250 million ounces were added to SLV in just, I think, this last year. That's over double what the Hunt brothers put in. Where did it all come from and whose hands did it get into? That is 100% controlled by JP Morgan and Friends. It was just announced that JP Morgan made, $1 billion trading gold and silver this year. Why? Because the DOJ required them to sell off the physical that they had. That's where their money was held. And did they go to jail? No. Did they collude with other banks? Absolutely. Is that legal? No, it is not. Is that part of the screwed up American financial system and the world financial system? Absolutely. That's what we need to get rid of. All right. Let's talk cryptos really quick. The crypto smash is done, it looks like. Bitcoin's hovering at around 18. Didn't get hit all that hard, even though the OCC and Coinbase tried to slam it. Didn't do a good job. The big one I want to take a look at, obviously XRP. I spoke my piece on XRP. XRP is a centralized cryptocurrency. We all know that. XRP could go up in value if the banks do well. If the banks crash, XRP goes to zero. Just keep that in your mind. I decided not to invest in XRP, even though I know it's going to go up until the banks crash. Why? Because there's 100 things wrong with it. And the key number one thing wrong with it, it supports the old fiat system. None of the problems are solved if they go over to an XRP system. But number two, they ICO'd. One of the worst ICO ever, and 60% of XRP is held by like 3 bankers. Do you think the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and the banking cabal and the central banks and the countries of the world are going to allow something like that to happen? No. At some point, they'll pull the plug on XRP. I don't know when that point is, so I stay away from it. As far as a moral coin, I heard Snippy and Penny Kelly talking about it. That's my own personal feeling. I think that morals, ethics, and values go along with all investing. And that's the way I've lived my entire life. Even as a banker, there was many times I could skirt those rules and make a hell of a lot of money. I chose not to. And I'm going to look back in my life, and that'll be one of the most proud things that I have done, is invest with a conscience. So, no, I am not going to invest in XRP. And you look at the beginnings of it, and it's like, ooh, that's the crypto cabal. That's the pedal world. I don't want to get anywhere close to that. So I decided not to, even though it's going to go up. Litecoin, absolutely. Hang on to that. That is the means of exchange for the future, in my opinion. That and Bitcoin Cash. But mainly Litecoin, I think, is the plan. And then let's jump down to number. My favorite by far, the Theta network. Lots coming out about the Theta network. I put a little comment out that Comcast was trying to fix the broadband problem they're having on the East Coast by capping the amount of broadband people could use. Here's an article on it. Comcast expands costly and pointless broadband caps during a pandemic. Everything's blamed on the pandemic. Comcast monthly usage caps serve no technical purpose, existing only to exploit customers stuck in uncompetitive broadband markets. Comcast has decided that the middle of an economic and health crisis is the perfect time to, well, obviously this is a biased article, to impose costly and unnecessary new restrictions. The nation's biggest cable company quietly announced this week that it would be expanding its unpopular usage caps and overage fees. What they don't see is that the content delivery networks, the CDNs, are charging more and more and more because they are getting overcrowded. A Comcast website notes that the users of the market face a 1.2 terabyte monthly bandwidth cap, after which customers are charged $10 per each additional 50 gigabytes of data consumed. This is at a time, the future's all about bandwidth and the internet and downstreaming businesses. Businesses have to stream online from here on out. Movies, entertainment, gaming. Just wait till you get into like the 3D type stuff. The amount of bandwidth. Right now, I think it's 75% of the internet is consumed by live streaming and downstream downloading movies and broadband streaming of entertainment. And only 25% is just normal internet usage. That's crazy, because that's expanding so extremely rapidly. And the quality and the amount of bandwidth needed is just blowing up all over the place. So absolutely, Theta solves that problem. It is not implemented yet. Everybody's like, well, what's wrong with the Theta fuel? Why would anybody want to slow down their or share their bandwidth if Theta fuel's not worth what it's not worth it economically? I agree. So I think the Theta team is working on making Theta fuel more economical. It could be that they're going to introduce staking to Theta fuel. I don't know. That is one of the options, which would be really interesting to see what the ratio of Theta fuel to Theta turns into. But the question is, what would they be giving away? They would be giving away Theta fuel, which they can expand, because Theta is capped at 1 billion. Theta fuel is not capped. But it would take a vote of the community to do something like that, which is possible. Or change the amount of mining or staking rewards for Theta. There's lots of options. Or even don't burn the Theta fuel used in the smart contracts. That was the original idea, was when smart contracts come out, they take a little Theta fuel to run a smart contract. Every transaction takes a little Theta fuel. Don't burn it, recycle it into the Theta fuel staking rewards. There's plenty of ways you can go about it, but I do think they will be working on that. So right now, yeah, probably buy Theta fuel over Theta, but it might be a while. You might have to wait a while. Whereas Theta, when the rest of the world finds out that is necessary for the future, it is needed if you want high-speed internet, absolutely there need to be solutions. And Theta invented a solution and patented a solution. So Theta is a technology company, and oh, by the way, it's a cryptocurrency protocol interface that rewards people for sharing their bandwidth. So I love it. I know you guys already know that. But yeah, Theta, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to put a private road posting probably later today, talk about my dollar amounts and timelines for Theta and Theta Fuel between here and the next 10 years. Obviously, they're just my predictions, but they're based on how I see. I'm looking into when the bandwidth on the internet will cap out going at these rates, and it's very soon. So get your Theta in your hands. And then Theta just announced the new Edgecast. Now, this is cool because it's the first decentralized streaming DApp for end-to-end live streaming. So Theta has Theta TV, which is it's centralized. The government can still go after you if you post something about Joe Biden being a pedophile, right? So it's centralized. The evolution of that, it's going to be decentralized at one point, and this beta, it's in beta, the Theta Edgecast. It's the first decentralized app. That is the future of live streaming. That is the future of YouTube. Everything's got to be decentralized, meaning you can't go after a company to stop or censor or things like that. I don't know if the government's going to like that, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know if we're going to like the government in the future. I think government involvement in our lives is going to go, at least in the United States, will be dropping by a magnitude of 50 times what it is right now. Government is completely off the rails. So, yeah, think twice about paying your taxes probably next year if we get to that point. That stops government real fast. If they don't have money, that stops them dead in their tracks. Anyway, what's going on with that video? I don't know. Subscribe today. Go to roadtoroad.com. Check out the private road and the public road. Public road, you can sign up for free just on the left side, your name and email address. Private road, I will send you 25 Theta and 25 Theta fuel loaded on a paper wallet. You don't even have to know about cryptos. If you join the private road, I teach you how to buy, store, and stake Theta. And then you're off on your own, and you can actually do it. I've yet to have a person say, I cannot do it. Some people have struggled. It's not as easy as clicking a mouse, but it is something we all have to learn. Cryptos aren't hard anymore. They were hard. Imagine buying cryptos when there was no exchanges. You'd have to mine it or find someone locally. Imagine none of the infrastructure that's in place right now for cryptos. No exchanges. No, I was looking for somebody had a question about their paper wallet. I said, well, just look on the Explorer. There was a time when there were no Explorers for cryptos. And how would you find? You'd have to search the blockchain for your actual crypto. So we've come a long way in cryptos, and we got a long way to go. But bravo, cryptos are coming to Coinbase. To PayPal, which is huge. You can't pull them off yet, but hey, it's baby steps. And then Theta is going to be coming to Coinbase, and that's going to be the big one for Theta. All of a sudden, 350 million people will have access to buying Theta, whereas right now it's a little difficult, but I teach you how. on the private road. All right. That's it. I'm going to go watch a Raider game. I'm a Las Vegas Raider fan. I used to be an Oakland Raider fan. Now I am a Las Vegas Raider fan. Can't wait to go to the stadium again and watch the games. We'll see what happens. Bix Weir, roadtour.com.